The emergence of the use of steel roof framing in the residential building industry has opened up new opportunities for those with the ability of erecting steel structures on building sites. The same principles applied to putting up a timber roof are applied to steel, with only a change in procedure and tooling. You can learn to work with lightweight steel materials that can extend the working life of those involved in roof construction. The first step is to consult the working drawings to work out the truss positioning. The numbers of trusses on the plan show their required positioning on the roof structure. Ensure that the truss is facing in the correct direction, with the W on the plan showing the web side of the truss, so that the bearing points are correct. The position of the creepers are also numbered. Refer to the drawing details to identify where the plates, beams and pitching lines are situated on the wall. Pitching lines are where the rafter meets the wall. First, fix the angle to the wall plate on the ground for safety. Position the wall plates according to the details on the drawing and strap them down securely. Then fix the hip corners by screwing down into the wall plate without extending past the pitching line. A flat plate is fixed to where there are butt joints by tack screwing down into the channel section. Put the creepers in sequential order and note on the plan where each creeper requires either a left or right-hand creeper bracket. Then transfer your tail length and angle from the truss. For ease of handling, screw the triple grips and creeper brackets while on the ground, and the brackets on the trusses in the same way. Then align them according to their position on the drawing plan. Mark out the roof according to the spaces on the plan and fix the triple grip accordingly. Now it's just a matter of loading up the trusses and starting to pitch the roof. Have all your braces and hips ready for truss fixing, and then raise the trusses. Then position the creepers according to the drawing plan. They have already been cut to size during the fabrication process. Next, they are fixed to the hip and screwed down into the wall plate. Ensure that all the rafters are kept square. Continue until the main roof structure is completely filled in. Now proceed with putting up the carport beams, followed by the trusses. Mark out on the bottom truss cords the intersection points for the ceiling battens. Then fix the ceiling battens to the trussed cords where the full-length battens can be applied first. And then go back and fix all the small infill sections. You can join the laps of the ceiling battens between trusses, providing you have 500mm overlap and 4 screws. With raked ceilings, the ceiling battens are placed so that the gyprock sheets plane through and the crank line is in the correct position. Go over the plan again and identify all the load-bearing points. Position the channel material to support the load of the truss on these points. Identify the positioning of the hanger support beams on the plan and put them over the top of the bottom chord so that the weight of the beam is taken up by solid brick packing on top of the internal wall of the house. This hanger beam is fixed to the truss by a cross member across the top of the beam and intersecting with the truss web. It is also fixed down to the bottom truss cord via a triple grip bracket. Find the manhole position and cut out the ceiling battens, then trim out the manhole frame. We then line the porch and the carport by screwing the compressed sheet onto the ceiling battens. Remembering to put all the kickers in to hold the battens down securely. It's a good idea to prepare the saddle truss for the gable on the ground before you fix it in place. Fit the lead flashing and the HardieFlex lining, and be sure that you leave enough height from the bottom of your truss to allow for one roof batten and 2 thicknesses of tile. The C channel is for fixing the soffit of the overhanging verge. Fix the creeper bracket to the tail of the saddle truss so that it's ready to fix to the hips. Now it's just a matter of fixing it into position and bracing it plumb. Fix the fascia clip to the end of the rafter with tack screws, with the position of the clip being governed by the 65mm tilt, and so that the eaves lining is level. Set up all fascia clips for the run. and then put on the hip corner brackets before putting the fascia on, so that the tech gun can gain access to fit them. Now it's just a matter of clipping on the fascia. Popping on the joins. And lining the soffit. Where the fascia is hard up against the brickwork, using an offcut of fascia with a clip is the easiest way to set the fascia up. Prepare the hip supports and fix them into place. Measure the length of your eaves trimmers and have them ready prepared. Place the compressed sheeting into the fascia groove and set it on the brick wall. It's a good idea to pre-drill the holes for the eaves trimmers by marking out their position every 750 millimeters. The eaves trimmers are placed over the pre-drilled holes and fixed to the fascia and wall plate. Fix the eaves lining in place by screwing into the eaves trimmers. Fix the valley boards to the rafters with an approximate 380 millimeter spacing overall, also making sure of adequate support. Be sure to plane them in with both roof faces so that there is a true 45-degree angle between the two. Place the fillets at the bottom of the valley boards and screw in place. These are to take the kick out of the valley gutter where the fall of water changes direction. This avoids a water problem by evening out the slope. To take the example of fixing battens for a tiled roof structure. Determine the maximum and minimum tile spacing and the midpoint between them, as well as the gutter spacing, from the drawings. The gutter course is the first tile spacing for the battens, determined from the front edge of the fascia to the front edge of the first batten. From the top lip of the first batten, measure the distance to the apex of the roof. Divide the midpoint spacing by this distance to find the number of batten spacings required. Next, divide the distance by the number of spacings to get an end figure for the spacing distance. Now we have achieved even spacings to the apex, so that there will be no need for tile cutting right up to the apex of the roof. Then mark out the tile positioning with a felt pen. Fix the battens in place with Tek screws. Corners are joined evenly half on the hip. Where the battens are extended, they should be overlapped by a minimum of 500 millimeters and joined by 3 Tek screws down the side of the batten and not through the lip. This can be done between trusses and does not necessarily have to occur over the top of the truss. Prepare the barge on the verge of the gable. Do a splay cut at the foot of the barge and fix it to the end of the battens using a U-channel. Make sure the required height, 20 millimeters above the height of the tile, is left from the bottom of the foot cut to the top of the rafter. Line the verge of the gable with the compressed sheet. Well, there you have it. We hope this step-by-step video instruction has given you a clearer idea on the erection of roofs using steel roof trusses. The tools you'll require for this work are shown. They include a circular saw, 2 screw guns, a 9-inch grinder, fiberboard cutters, string line, a level and a square. We'd like to thank Mark Thorne and Jason Levy for their patience and cooperation in helping to produce this for you. We hope you find it instructional and worthwhile. And a thank you to Nash and BHP for their help in producing the video.